In this installment, we're going to be going over the NBA bets for Sunday, March 2nd. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to bring you the winning ingredients for our Sunday, March 2nd NBA slate we got going down. But before we deep dive into that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MetsNetChefD. Don't forget about that TikTok at Chef_D91, and don't forget about that Patreon. Right now, we're at the homepage of the YouTube channel, currently at 9.42 thousand subscribers. This is the road to 10K, and we're well on our way because you guys are showing up each and every single day. If you already subscribed, continue to like and comment. That helps the YouTube algorithm so we can go to a much broader audience. All right, now speaking of that Patreon here, we've had a very solid Saturday, hitting on our main parlay here with Maryland and Auburn. Not to mention, I gave out Clemson. And I gave out Clemson, and I gave out Texas Tech with the point. So we have a member here that cleared on that particular parlay there, and that was plus 574. Plus what we have with the earlier play here, the main play was Maryland and Auburn for the early part of the college basketball slate. So we're hitting it off here. We got NBA to finish off the night as well. So guys, get connected. Click on the link provided down below. Get involved in this community. You're getting access to daily bets, future bets, and access to that group chat that goes up 24/7. I'm so excited to announce I have partnered with BetStamp and SIGNUP Expert to provide you guys with an easier way to sign up with any sportsbook in your area. If you go to the link in the description down below, you will be directed to this page you see here. It automatically displays all available sportsbooks in your area plus their current promotions. For example, you could take the plays given in this video and apply it to any other sportsbooks you don't currently have and reap the rewards. Now let's get into the slate. Starting off in Kaseya Center here, we have the Miami Heat 28-30 going against the New York Knicks 39-20 here. Looking at the current odds for this matchup on Sunday, we have the Knicks as road favorites, minus 220 on the money line, with the comeback of the Heat at a plus 180, point spread at a 5.5, total at 224.5. Looking at the public bet percentage here, 80% of the bets and money all over the Knicks. For the point spread, 69% of the bets and 75% of the money all over the Knicks as well. And for the total points, 75% of the bets and 71% of the money on that over 224.5. If we're looking at the injury report here for these two teams, the New York Knicks, they are really a little bit decimated at the center position here. It's just Karl Anthony Towns. Josh Hart is game time decision. Mitchell Robinson is a game time decision. He might be back. We'll see, but he hasn't played in months. And then Ariel Hawkporti was the backup center here. He's going to be out. He has an injury with his meniscus. He's going to be out for a while. All right. Miami Heat here. Jaime Jaquez, positive sign. He's a game time decision. Andrew Wiggins is a game time decision. Nikola Jovic is out, and Drew Smith is out for the season. All right. So these two teams have been on a very similar trajectory, very inconsistent basketball. But as of right now, both of these teams have won 3 out of the last 5 games. Both of these teams have some solid wins. Knicks beating Memphis, Philly, and Chicago. Miami trying to get things on the ball now with Bam Adebayo as the power forward now, and Tyler Hero emerging as the number 1 guy. They beat Indiana, beat Atlanta, and beat Toronto. All right, so I see these teams very similarly, and they're pretty even. All right, Knicks, obviously, they can't beat top tier teams, and so can't the Miami Heat here. But this spot here, the second meeting out of these two teams, the first one was in Miami, and they lost. All right, they lost by 9 points to the New York Knicks there. That was a 223 total in that game. Here, if we're looking at the total of 224 in this one, the last 5 games has gone. The last 5 games have gone 3-2 towards the under. All right, so we had a 96-92, that's an under. 100-98, that's an under. Then we had an over, and then an under, and then an over. Actually, the last one, that's an under. So 4-1 towards the under here. So slower tempo here. It's definitely more defensive basketball. The Knicks have been giving up a ton of points lately. That's the question mark. Especially against Boston and against Cleveland, but those are elite offenses here. I'm going to lean towards the under in 224.5, but the value is on the side of the Miami Heat. I cannot trust this New York Knicks team here. If I compare both of these teams very similarly, especially Heat at home with Spoelstra, they always play tough at home. Give me the points with the Miami Heat in this one. I'll definitely take the value there, and we're going to go with the under 224.5. Next up in TD Garden here, we have the Boston Celtics 42-18 going against the Denver Nuggets 39-21. Looking at the odds for this one here, Boston Celtics are home favorites, minus 135 on the money line, with the comeback of the Denver Nuggets at a plus 115, point spread at a 2.5, and the total at 237.5 here. Looking at the injury report for the Denver Nuggets, Vlatko Cancer is out, Zeke Naji is game time decision, Aaron Gordon is a game time decision, PJ Hall is a game time decision, and Deron Holmes is out for the year. For the Celtics, hopefully there will be some positive news here with Drew Holiday, Jaylen Brown, and Kristaps Porzingis. They're all game time decisions. Hopefully these guys are ready to go here, and they have a major matchup against the Denver Nuggets after an embarrassing performance against the Cleveland Cavaliers, where they got up by 22 points and they allowed the Cavaliers to come all the way back and get a 7-point win. On top of that, Nuggets are feeling good about themselves. They stopped the winning streak of the Detroit Pistons in Detroit with a solid win there. All right, for this particular spot, I think the Celtics, they have a chip on their shoulder here. I don't know what happened, but they really let things go right after that early run. I think they take advantage of this spot here and finish off the Denver Nuggets. They're not only going to come out strong, they're going to finish the team off. Give me a complete sweep with the Boston Celtics in a bounce back spot here at home. Give me the Boston Celtics on the money line, Boston Celtics to cover the 2.5, and for the total of 237.5, I'm going to take the over 237.5. The first matchup went under this total here. I think the way this Denver Nuggets defense has been playing as well, and a little bit of an animosity on the side of the Celtics, I think they put up a big number in this spot. So give me the over 237.5. In Rocket Arena here, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers 49-10 going against the Portland Trailblazers 27-33. Looking at the current odds for this matchup here, Cavaliers big home favorites, minus 550 on the money line, with the comeback of the Trailblazers at a plus 400. Point spread at a 10.5. Total points at 232.5. Looking at the injury report here for this Trailblazers and Cavaliers game, Trailblazers, Robert Williams is out, Denny Advidge is a game time decision, Jeremy Grant is a game time decision, Matisse Thybulle is out, and DeAndre Ayton is out. For the Cavaliers, they will be resting Donovan Mitchell. He's not hurt. They're just going to sit him down for this game here in Cleveland, and the Cavaliers are trying to increase their winning streak all the way to 10 games as well. All right, so this particular spot here, this is their first meeting this season. If we're going off the total of 232.5, that's a pretty high total. If I'm looking at the last 5 matchups, they have not reached this total in the last 5 games here. And it's really going to be a proponent on this Cavaliers defense, all right? As we saw, this defense stepped up. That's what allowed them to come back in the game against the Cleveland Cavaliers. They shut down the Orlando Magic. They shut down the Brooklyn Nets. They held New York to only 105 points and blew them out there. So this Cavaliers defense is going to be a focal point here. I like the under in this game, okay? I think they can handle the young Trailblazers in this spot. Even without Donovan Mitchell, they still have plenty of guys that can put up big numbers here. So give me the under on the 232.5. Now, as you can see it live, it just dropped. And give me the Cavaliers by 9.5 points. All right. I'm going to post 9.5. I encourage you guys to alter it by that 1 point. Is very crucial. You do not want to lose by half a point. It's a lot of times teams just win by 10 and not by 11. All right. You need 11, but they win by 10. It happened last week with the Boston Celtics. The line was at 11. They wound up winning by 10. It happens more than you think about it. So I'm going to be posting Cavaliers minus 9.5 and the under 231.5. In the Kia Center here, we have the Orlando Magic 29-32 going up against the Toronto Raptors 18-42. Looking at the current odds for this matchup here, we have the Magic as home favorites minus 275 on the money line with the comeback of the Raptors at a plus 220, point spread at a 6.5, and total at 211.5. For the public bet percentage here, 85% of the bets, 92% of the money all over Orlando. For the point spread, 76% of the bets, 92% of the money on Orlando to cover the 6.5. And for the total points, 75% of the bets and 77% of the money towards the over 211.5. All right, injury report for these two teams. Toronto Raptors are dealing with a lot of issues here. Garrett Temple's out, Jamison Battle's out, Ochai Agbaji is out, Ultra Krumchi is going to be out for the year, Brandon Ingram is still out, and for Orlando Magic here, Ethan Thompson's game time decision, Jalen Suggs got some bad news. He's out until April, and then Moritz Wagner is going to be out for the year. All right, so looking at these two teams, they've already played twice this year. The first game went towards the Magic. They won. They covered the 2.5, and they went under 214. The second game of their matchup was the Raptors at home. They covered that plus 1.5, and it went under 213.5 yet again. So it's been really close around that number here. And then we have a 211 for the third time, but the point spread is a little wider here. Obviously, the Raptors have regressed here as the season gone on, and I like the Magic here at home in this spot here, at least for this is a home and home or a back-to-back. All right, they're going to be playing each other in a couple more days here. Give me the Magic on the money line. Give me the Magic to cover the 6.5 in this first matchup here, and I like the over 211.5. The Magic are trying to get back on the right away here. It's a little more understandable with the Raptors, but the Magic have been playing tough basketball. Blown out against Cleveland, showed up against Washington and Memphis and Atlanta. But that Memphis game, they only lost by 1 point. They played very good basketball there, and then they played very good basketball against Golden State, but Steph Curry had 56 points. So they've really been trying to get back on the schneid, and this is one of the better teams at home as well. So for this one here, give me the cover of the 6.5 with the Magic and the over 211.5. In Delta Center here, we have the Utah Jazz 15-44 going against the New Orleans Pelicans 16-44 here. Looking at the current odds for this matchup, Pelicans road favorites minus 220 on the money line with the comeback of the Jazz at a plus 180, point spread at a 5.5, total points at 232.5. Looking at the injury report here for both of these teams, for the Jazz and the Pelicans, I'm going to pull it up for you guys in just 1 second here. All right, Pelicans, Brandon Boston is going to be out. Herbert Jones out for the year, and DeJounte Murray out for the year. For the Utah Jazz, Jordan Clarkson is out, John Collins is out, Lauri Markkanen is out, and Taylor Hendricks is out for the season. All right, so the Utah Jazz keep putting guys in and putting guys out. I don't know what kind of minutes restriction that they have on these players here with John Collins and Jordan Clarkson, but they'll play one and miss one here. It seemed not to matter. They still play competitive. They haven't been getting like kicked, their butts kicked. They played solidly against Minnesota, played solidly against Portland, won against Houston. So they've been showing up in these games, and this is the third and final matchup between the Pelicans and the Jazz here. First two games have gone to the Pelicans as well. First one was a blowout, and then only a 4-point win on January 20th, not too far long ago. Third and final matchup here in Utah on this spot here, and we have the total here at 232. The last 3 games in a row, it has gone over this total here. I do expect a big number here on both sides of the basketball. None of these teams play defense as well, so I like the over 232.5. I also think this game is going to be close. All right, I think it's too much value here on the Utah Jazz at home. Let's not act like the Pelicans are good just because Zion Williamson is a little bit healthier now and playing better basketball. There's a lot of issues here with the New Orleans Pelicans. As you can see, they've beaten up on The San Antonio Spurs without Wemby and Phoenix Suns, they can't beat anybody. I don't know what is wrong with the Phoenix Suns. You have all that talent, and you can't win. You're a 10 seed. There's a lot of issues here. So give me the plus 5.5 with the Utah Jazz. Definitely, I think there's value on the home underdog, and give me the over on 232.5 points. In Phoenix Arena here, we have the Suns 28-32 going against the Minnesota Timberwolves 32-29. Looking at the current odds for this matchup here, Suns home favorites -120, Timberwolves at a +100 on the get back. Point spread is a pick 'em at a 1.5. Total points at 227.5. Looking at the injury report here for these two teams, Timberwolves, Julius Randle, game time decision. Rudy Gobert is out and Jesse Edwards is out. For the Phoenix Suns, game time decision on Monte Morris and Bradley Beal and Grayson Allen. Cody Martin is going to be out of this game. So we're going to wait on some news about Bradley Beal, especially. He's been playing a little bit better basketball here. And then for the Minnesota Timberwolves, they did get back Dante DiVincenzo in the last game. And now we're going to wait and see if they're going to be able to get Julius Randle back as well. All right. These two teams have already played twice this year, both games going towards Minnesota. And usually the Suns do play the Minnesota Timberwolves fairly close. The Suns have lost the last 5 games against the Phoenix Suns as well. Against the Timberwolves as well. So will they be able to get over the Schneid? Now, this is a team here in the Phoenix Suns that I do not trust at all. So we're looking at the odds here in the last couple games. The first one was the Timberwolves on the money line. The Suns covered the 7.5 and it went over to 18.5. The second game, Timberwolves won as underdogs. The point spread was a +1.5, and the over went 223.5. This one here, they bumped it up a couple more points at 227 for the total. These two teams tend to go over. Obviously, this is going to be one of those high-scoring environments. I can already see Anthony Edwards going for a big game. You got KD, Devin Booker on the other side. I like the over 227.5. It's already hit 4 out of the last 5 times these two teams have played. And it usually comes down to the wire. That's why the spreads are usually close, all right? And they put the spread at 1.5 yet again. The last game was a 1.5. In the same exact scenario here, Timberwolves won as the underdog, all right? And the majority of that money was on the side of Minnesota as well. Right now, we don't have no public data right now, but I'm going to put it as a secondary play. The top play is the over 227.5. I'll give the Suns one more opportunity here to prove it. You already lost twice to this team here. This is a double revenge narrative at home, all right? At home for the Phoenix Suns, where they play better basketball. If we're looking at it, they're 17-12 at home. Timberwolves are average on the road. This is a spot that they should take full advantage of here against the Timberwolves. So we're going to go Suns on the money line. Secondary play, main play, over 227.5. That's going to be our breakdown for the Sunday slate. Let me know in that comment section down below if you agree or disagree. We can definitely talk about that down there. If you guys want to sign up for the Patreon, get connected with the community, because it's not just me here. It's people going through the slate 24/7. Click on that link provided down below. Get connected. You're getting access to daily bets, future bets, and access to that group chat that goes off 24/7. This is your boy Chef D. I'll be back very soon, and peace out.